What's going on, Eye Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about supplements. Should you be taking them when intermittent fasting? Should you take them during your fasting time? Should you take them during your eating windows? I'm going to break down a few of the supplements, or the more popular one. I'm going to eliminate a bunch of them, and I'm even going to throw in vitamins and medication so that you can get as much of a full picture in this breakdown as possible. I get a lot of questions about this, so it's time to tackle it in this video. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so I'm going to start by eliminating 98% of the supplementation that you see out there for fitness. Anything that has protein, carbs, anything like that, sugar, anything that has any of that, just completely take it out of the equation when it comes to if you want to consume this during your fast, because it contains macronutrients. Macronutrients contain calories, and that will break your fast. Doesn't matter if somebody tells you, oh, what about isoprotein? Is just protein. It's going to have calories. Protein is a macronutrient that needs to be metabolized, and if it has protein, it will have calories, and if it has calories, it will break your fast. So stay away from anything that's going to have calories that can break your fast. Now, can you take it during your eating window? You can, I guess, if you want to go ahead and add protein within like a whey protein or anything like that. That's up to you. Personally, I don't do it, but that's neither here nor there. Just know that if you use anything that has macronutrients within them as the base, as for example protein, it is going to break your fast. That should be a no-brainer, but I wanted to touch on that. I wanted to eliminate all that right off the jump. Now let's touch on creatine. Creatine monohydrate, just creatine, not flavored, nothing else in it. A lot of people gravitate towards creatine because it's a skeletal muscle performance supplement which helps you increase your performance and build within your muscle. Now, creatine usually, when it's just monohydrate, unflavored, doesn't contain any calories. The thing is, it has a potential to affect your insulin. It can raise it. Now, is it an acute insulin response, or a prolonged insulin response? Those two things are different. An acute insulin response is something that where your insulin goes up for a very short time and then comes back down. However, in the span of a fast, that can still elicit a break of your fast, if that is a possibility. But there are studies that show that creatine doesn't raise your insulin, and then there's studies that show that creatine can raise your insulin. Now, there's limitations on all these studies. For example, a lot of these studies are done with rats, so we're not exactly sure what the milligram or gram usage is for humans, and some of the studies showed an exorbitant amount of grams were needed to even have the insulin move. But take that information as you will. If you're going to take creatine monohydrate unflavored, then understand that you're in somewhat of a gray area, and with that understanding, if you must take it, if it's something that you want to do, try to do it within your eating time frame. If you have an eating time frame, if you're going to go to the gym within your eating time frame, then try to take your creatine within that time frame. A lot of people say that creatine after your workout is better than creatine before your workout. So if you time your workout to fall into your eating window, then go ahead and use the creatine then. It's better to be safe than sorry. You just don't want to be raising your insulin within your fasting periods. I understand that there's studies that say it doesn't, but there are equally as many studies that say it can do it. So that to me is enough to put it in a gray area. And for me, just to be on the safe side, to ensure that I'm constantly keeping my insulin low at all times when I am fasting, or keeping it at baseline, I would not take it if it was me. But if you want to take it, if that's something that you can't be without, that's on you. If you want to strategically do it while maintaining your fast and getting the peace of mind that you are keeping your fast there, then go ahead and take it during your eating window. Now let's move on to BCAAs. Now, BCAAs is the big push that a lot of people use for intermittent fasting. People want to somehow monetize intermittent fasting in some way, shape, or form. They want to connect something, either be it coffee or BCAAs, and these are the two things, coffee and BCAAs, that I've seen so much connected to intermittent fasting in a way where let's try to monetize this. Well, here's the thing. BCAAs are branched chain amino acids, and you know that. Branched chain amino acids that contain leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Now, if you look at your label, normally it will tell you that there's 0 calories in branched chain amino acid, and that is not true. Now, what constitutes as calories? The thing is, a lot of people say, well, if you don't have proteins, carbs, and fats, then there's no calories in it. That's also a false narrative. What calories indicate is, can it be metabolized into energy? If put under test conditions, can it show that when it's metabolized, it can add energy? And if that does happen, then it is something that contains calories. And this test on BCAAs have been done, and it shows that it does have calories. Now, per gram, I believe each one of those, leucine, isoleucine, and valine, each have about 4.65 calories in it. So yes, if you take it, it will have calories in it. And here's another kicker. Leucine heavily induces your insulin, pushes your insulin up strongly. It really needs that to move through the body. So it will definitely break your fast if you take branched chain amino acids. I'm sorry guys, I know a lot of people that do intermittent fasting want to take BCAAs, but the truth of the matter is branched chain amino acids plays on the fear of not being able to protect your muscles because you're fasting, and the whole protein synthesis fear. You don't have to have that fear. The human growth hormone will protect muscle tissue and muscle growth. It will help with the muscle growth, and it will protect when reducing calories with your muscle tissue. And you can get enough amino acids from just the proteins that you eat throughout the day. So you don't necessarily need BCAAs. But if you're going to take BCAAs, please do it within your eating window, not outside of your eating window. Don't believe the hype, or don't believe what these people are telling you about BCAAs not breaking your fast because there's no calories. Not only are there calories, they're just hidden calories, but they also do one critical thing, which is they raise your insulin. Now I'm gonna briefly touch on medication. Medication can definitely raise your insulin because there's so many different medications out there, and a lot of them do so many things inside your body hormonally, and insulin is one of those things. But medication is extremely a sensitive subject and very, very isolated to each and every one of you. I'm not gonna hop on a video and diagnose so many people over the internet. So if you use medication because it's prescribed to you by your doctor, that's a conversation that you need to have with your doctor. But understand that yes, medication can definitely affect your insulin. If it isn't a time sensitive kind of medication, if it isn't like you got to take it in the morning, you got to take it in the afternoon, you got to take it at night kind of thing, and you can take it just once a day, then time them or put them within the times that you're eating so that it can be easier for you and that you know that you're not breaking your fast when you're doing your fast. Medications can mess with your hormones. That's what medications usually are there for, because there's something off balance. It's going to try to rebalance certain things, so it will mess with your hormones. But also understand that your doctor prescribed it to you for a reason. If you want another opinion from another doctor, that's your prerogative. But I do want to put it out there that yes, medication can move or mess with your insulin. Okay, now we're going to move on to vitamins. Vitamins is something that a lot of people want to take, and people want to take vitamins outside of their eating window. Understand that vitamins in and of itself, vitamins does not contain calories. That's one of those things where it's water, minerals, vitamins. Those things do not produce energy when metabolized. They don't give you energy, thus they don't have any calories in them. And then of course it doesn't have carbs or anything like that. Now, if we're talking about the tablets, if we're talking about the actual tablets, there's a lot of different types of vitamins out there. Like if you were to take fish oil, that has fats. It's unsaturated, but it's fats. It contains fats. Fats contain calories. So within a tablet of fish oil, you might have about 10 calories in there. Is that going to break your fast? It might not, because it's fats, but just know that there's calories inside of the tablet. Now, vitamin C also has calories, but that calories is less in the vitamin C, but it can come from sugar, it can come from carbs. Will that break your fast? I feel that has more of an opportunity to do it than the one fish oil, because it has fats, but understand that it's really, really small, it's really minimal. This is another thing when it comes to vitamins. You want to take only what you're deficient in. If you go to your doctor and your doctor says, hey, look, you're deficient in vitamin D, then that's the vitamin that you should be focusing on, because obviously whatever you're doing in your lifestyle is allowing you to absorb all the other vitamins at a normal clip. Vitamin D is one of those vitamins that you somehow, maybe your diet, or maybe whatever, you don't go outside as much, or you don't live where there's that much sun. I don't know what it is, but for some reason you're deficient in vitamin D, so that's the vitamin that you should just focus on. But all these vitamins are different and contain their own way to consume them, because what they do in your body is different. For example, vitamin A, D, E, and K are fat soluble vitamins, which means that they're best consumed when you're consuming fats. So when you're consuming food, food, those are the better vitamins to take. So if you have to take those vitamins when you're consuming food, then you should throw those in during your eating window. Now, the water soluble vitamins, which is like vitamin B and C, those can be dissolved in water. So those dissolve in water, the other ones get stored in your fat. They don't get stored as fat, they get stored inside of your fat. But like I said, make sure that you're taking the vitamins that you're actually deficient in. And if you can, to give yourself the best peace of mind, you can try to take your vitamins. If it has to just be once a day, why not just take it during your eating window? I never understood why, if people have the options to take it once a day, they can take it whenever they want. They want to take it outside of their eating window. Just take it right after you eat, or right before you eat, or while you're eating. Whatever it is, just try to take the vitamins during your eating window, and then you don't even have to think about it, because yes, they're very minimal in terms of calories, they're very minimal in terms of carbs and sugar and everything like that. But if you don't want to even think about it or stress about it, messing with anything, so then just take it during your eating window. All right, guys, so those are the supplements that I am touching on. They're the most popular supplements. If there are any other supplements that you want to talk about, that you want me to touch on, go ahead and ask me in the comment section. But I wanted to basically touch on the ones that most likely are going to be used by people who do intermittent fasting, because of all the information that's out there, and hopefully all the rest of them with the protein and the whey protein, you guys understand that those things will break your fast. But hopefully this helped with in terms of vitamins, because I've gotten a lot of questions for vitamins, I've gotten a lot of questions for creatine, and I've gotten a lot of questions for branched chain amino acids. And I want to thank my patrons for my Patreon, and I'm going to put their names right up here. Also, guys, don't forget my Fledge Fitness jump ropes are out. You can click in the description to buy yourself one. It's only $16.50. Grab them while you can, because these things are selling like crazy. Thank you for your support, guys, and I'll see you on Wednesday for another FAQ. Peace!